welcome to the Josh Cast, where we talk about black things, progressive things, basically canceling people on Twitter all day. We got a really special guest. Liam Neeson is here today. Somehow we got him. He is the star of films you may have heard of, like The Grey, Schindler's List, and a host of Clash of the Clans commercials. So let's give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Josh. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, the pleasure's all ours. So you've got kind of a different look going on here. Do you care to explain what that is, or is this another Hollywood secret?
Well, Josh, I'm glad you asked. I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be reprising my character, Gustavo Ferreira, from Silence. Marty couldn't make it for this one, so we're going in a more action-oriented direction. We hired Mick G, the promising young director, for The Silence 2, The Silencing.
Okay, so action movie. That seems to be the direction of most of your movies as of late, such as Cold Pursuit, in theaters February 8th. Can you care to tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. I play a snowplow driver whose son dies tragically from black tar heroin. Awful stuff, that black tar, sold by black folks mostly, actually. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that black bastard that raped my dear friend sold black tar.
Okay. Critics have been commenting on the black humor in this film. Do you consciously seek out roles that have a darker tone?
The only darkness I seek is the complexion of that black bastard who raped my dear friend so I could murder him. I used to walk around black neighborhoods with my nightstick just praying for some black bastard to start something with me so I could finish it.
Okay, well, we're running out of time, so let's switch gears. How has the loss of your wife, Natasha Richardson, affected the way that you approach roles and in your life in general?
I miss Natasha every day. She was the light of my life. She loved to ski, bless her, surrounded by all that pure white. When she died, it was the darkest time of my life, almost as dark as that black bastard that raped my dear friend.
Okay, yep, that's all the time that we have. Thanks to Liam Neeson. His movie's out, Cold Pursuit, in February. And that's that. Oh, also, how is it to work with Laura Dern?
Oh, she's great. Lovely person.
Beautiful work, Addison. You've done great.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's up with that Liam
hard.
Neeson guy? Jeez.
I know. Did you see he was on the Josh Cast?
I did hear about it.
It's pretty big stuff, yeah.
It's making a big stir. I mean, kudos to you for landing that interview. That's pretty amazing.
What a
Really high
weird
profile.
Yeah.
Weird guy.
Why did he keep saying that stuff about Scorsese not being on the next movie? That's
I
crazy.
don't know. That's what I found to be most troublesome about it, is that Scorsese isn't at the helm of Silence 2, The Silencing. I kind of fear for the production, honestly.
You really have to question Scorsese's judgment.
Yeah.
Making that decision.
You do.
Really nothing else to talk about there.
No, I would say not.
Yeah, that was like the most exciting part of the movie, was the lack of Scorsese mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
You mean of the interview?
What did I say?
You said movie.
It was kind of like
Life's
a movie.
Yeah,
Life's a
that's true.
movie.
That's true. Life's a movie. Welcome to episode 31 of To Be Honest. I'm Addison.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Josh.
And we saw The Lego Movie 2, the second part. Directed by Mike Mitchell, written by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and like 25 other people.
Yikes.
One of whom, though, I thought of you actually when I read this, Josh. One of the script doctors was Raphael Bob Waxberg.
Who's that?
That is the creator of BoJack.
Oh, BoJack.
Yeah, which is like your favorite show.
That's a good show. That's
It is a
not
good show.
my favorite show.
I like BoJack a lot.
Back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show.
So anyways,
Yes.
there were quite a people involved with the production of this movie, from the writing to the direction. I think Mike Mitchell was the second or third director that they had sign on for it. They lost a couple others. So anyways,
this one?
They lost a lot
for
of
Lego
people.
Movie 2, yeah.
But he
specifically.
directed the first one.
He did not direct
No,
the first
okay.
one.
Who
No.
did?
I don't remember. We'll have to look that up, I guess.
Wow, and you do this for a living?
I know. It's fucking embarrassing. kind of
Only
like
That's
professionals
embarrassing.
here. Only professionals.
We're all professional.
we're
just
professional
college.
amateurs, man. So the fucking Lego Movie 2. Now I actually haven't seen the full Lego Movie 1. I watched probably 30 to 45 minutes of it. I thought it was cute and colorful, but ultimately didn't quite grab me.
Do you remember really anything of it?
I remember everything is awesome. I remember that song.
Everything's cool when you're part of a team.
This is true.
We are a team.
We are a team.
Awesome! Everything is awesome. Oh my gosh, I love this song.
I remember the song. I remember there being a couple jokes that I thought were kind of funny. I didn't hate it by any means. I didn't feel like a burning desire. Like, I've got to finish the Lego Movie. Like, I got to know what happens next. So yeah, we watched it like for dinner, and then we watched something else when we got into the room. So
You watched it for dinner.
well, I watched it while eating dinner because we eat like fucking Huns, shoveling food into our mouth
okay.
in front of the
Like
television.
that was supper was a movie. You're like, sorry, we can't afford food this week.
Look, you guys. All right, I made a slight grammatical error.
I was gonna say, like, of course you didn't finish the movie. You realized you couldn't like gain sustenance from it 30 minutes in. I saw the movie in its entirety. I avoided it for the most part when it came out because it looked pretty silly, and I felt like I got the gist of it. And then I forget where I saw it, but it's pretty much forced upon me in a way. And then I saw it and I liked it and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was really clever and well done and very surprising considering how like much I avoided it.
So yeah, you could say that low expectations might have been a gift for the Lego Movie.
Sure. I mean, on rewatch though, I watched it. I've seen it like 2 or 3 times since, and it still holds up. I mean, yeah, it's not as surprising, but the story is strong and the characters are well defined enough that it like carries out throughout the movie.
And you said you watched it again this week for the 16th time, I think you said.
20th.
20th.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was my 20th anniversary.
I got that way wrong.
20th
with Lego
anniversary.
Movie. I kind of had a similar experience with Josh the first time I saw it, where I was avoiding it because I thought it was really cheesy and I thought it was gonna be really lame. But it was just like great reviews, and I think it was on HBO, and they just kept pushing it. It was always featured.
That's true.
And at one point, I watched it. I really liked it, and it was a surprise that the movie was so self-aware and clever with its humor. And then I just rewatched it this week. I don't think it held up as well as I hoped it would, but it was still entertaining enough. But it just didn't feel as clever as I remember.
Awesome!
And then I didn't really see this one. So I can't speak too much on it.
Yeah, I guess full disclosure, we should get it out right now. Midpoint through the movie, I heard rustling and I looked to my left, and Jackson had rolled over onto his side in his chair, because they have the reclining chairs in the XD theater, just thumb in his mouth.
Yep. Yeah.
sucking away.
He brought a blanket. It was incredible.
I was having a nightmare, and Addison came over and took my coat and tucked me in and gave me a little smooch on the forehead.
He was having a nightmare that we had to watch the Lego movie too.
It was true the whole time.
So I thought that this movie was well, here's like my big takeaway from it. I was surprised by how much of a children's movie it turned out to be.
Right.
I kind of expected from all the hype and hubbub about the first movie that this one would be one of those, like Shrek, Toy Story type experiences where there's layers to the humor. There's like subtle, more adult jokes with innuendo that the kiddies won't pick up on. But really, there was none of that. Like, literally, I can't think of a single dick joke in the whole movie.
Right. Well, the first one had a kind of a Pixar approach to it, where it was a movie that kids could enjoy, but there's also those funny, clever jokes that would probably fly over a kid's head, but adults think it's funny, and that way it passes as a movie for everybody.
Right.
And this movie, I would agree, did not have that edge to it. And it felt like a kid's movie.
It absolutely did. And it felt like a kid's movie for a number of reasons. One would be that the plot was pretty kind of scattered. Like, we have a very, very thin plot of like, okay, little sister is introduced into playtime now. So all of a sudden there's like invaders, like alien invaders that are coming and destroying the Lego town. And then Elizabeth Banks's character, whose name I can't remember, like
Wild
Style. She gets kidnapped by the aliens. But before that, she chastises Emmett.
Same thing.
What movie did you watch? I slept through this thing. I know the characters.
She's like, Emmett, you're a stupid fucking baby, and I don't want you to be a fucking baby anymore. And he's like, hey, that hurts my feelings.
She's like, choke me.
Choke me.
Took the pink out of my hair.
Emmett, you gotta stop pretending everything is awesome. It isn't.
Yeah, I get it. And that's why I've cultivated a totally hard-edged side that's super tough. And look, a shooting star, make a wish.
So we got motivation, and we got threat, and that's the movie.
Yeah,
you could just put the credits up.
We've got a catalyst for the action, but then after that, it just kind of gets muddled. Like, okay, so a bunch of them go off to the little sister's room called, like, the Sistar system. The Sistar system. There's all these stupid fucking puns in this movie,
yes.
like the
Undar, Dryar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the Our Mom Apocalypse or Our Mom Apocalypse or something stupid like that.
It sounds like a porno.
Cocalypse.
Storage.
Curry got this
Well, so my problem with that was I would be more accepting of those puns if we didn't have all these cutaways to live action where it's like, oh, just so you didn't get it, like they are just playing in a basement.
Right.
They're just playing with their Legos in a basement. It's not real. Because in the first movie, it does that. The first movie doesn't play really until the end into that idea that like, oh, this could also exist in another reality. And like Will Ferrell is playing as a president of a world or whatever. But the movie's, which also problematic for Will Ferrell, but it stops. It like just immediately sets that tone of like, yeah, this isn't in real world. And so I don't know. I guess I could have accepted more of the stupid puns if we weren't constantly reminded that this is fake.
Behold the Sistar system.
And something that. Since Addison didn't finish the first one, something you didn't realize was that the beginning of this movie, they actually used the footage from the end of the last movie, which is Will Ferrell playing with his son. And he's like, well, now that you're allowed to be down here, your sister's got to be allowed to play. Yeah. And so the whole plot of this movie is a play on the end of the last movie. Like, it's directly rolls over into this movie.
Yeah, I was reading interviews with Phil Lord and Chris Miller where they were talking about the script, and they were like, we wanted to make it so that it's this conjunction of the boy's imagination and the girl's imagination. We didn't necessarily want you as the viewer to know which one is which. We just wanted it to be this visually striking, immersive atmosphere. And it's like, who gives a shit if it's the boy or the girl? Like, it's all basically the same shit. There was no point at which I found myself wondering, is this in the girl's imagination or is this in the boy's imagination?
Oh, I disagree. I was thinking that. Not because the movie made me think that, but I was definitely like trying to like, where are they from a screenwriting perspective, like trying to like direct us,
Like gender wise,
or just sister and brother. Like whose mind
whose
are we in right?
imagination?
Yeah, whose imagination are we in right now? I was trying to figure it out. So I guess it worked, but also, yeah, who gives a shit?
I don't like that perspective on telling the story where it's like the only way the story progresses is through one of these kids' imaginations, because in the first movie you don't even realize that till the end. It's just you're watching this story and then, oh, that's cool, it was just the kid playing around in his dad's like Lego like architecture model that he had. And then this one, it's just like a constant theme of being taken out of the Lego world and being in this real world.
And you almost don't care anymore.
It kind of kills all like the tension and the conflict of the story.
Yeah, there's a part where they're like in a spaceship and it takes off, and then there's a cutaway to like a paper mache version of the spaceship like sputtering about in a live action shot. And it's like, okay, it's funny, I guess, it's like cute and makes kids laugh, but also you're taking away the tension of the movie and the stakes when you're just constantly reminding us that this isn't real.
Yeah, and not to mention that the fucking live action sequences looked like they were filmed on an iPhone like 4.
You didn't like Maya Rudolph?
Oh my god, the Maya Rudolph part, that was the only point at which the movie actively pissed me off, was the Maya Rudolph. Were you awake for that part?
Remind me what part this is.
So it's like, they have like a, spoilers, they have like a false end to the movie where the kids get in trouble because they can't get along, they can't play together.
Oh, yeah, I was awake for that.
Yeah, and so mom comes in and she's like, this is the last time, and she takes a step forward and she steps on a Lego, and she's like, worse than childbirth. Worse than childbirth. Yeah.
It's like a Paul Feig directed scene.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like, all right, just say whatever you want. You step on a Lego. We all know what that's like. Ready? Go.
Which is totally playing into like the memes. You know, there's so many memes that exist. Of,
The
like,
audience ate that up.
Oh, absolutely.
The
The
people
audience
behind us were like, bro!
Ouch! Wow!
Oh, I felt that one.
That's smart.
Oh my god. Never heard that.
Never heard
Outside of like a novel, I've never heard someone say that. Smarts. Wow.
So yeah, no, the live action scenes I thought were a misfire pretty much across the board.
That also kind of plays into just like this movie is trying to beat you to death with cameos. There's like,
You don't like Bruce Willis?
the Bruce Willis cameo, or at least the one that I was awake for, was just like, it was a split second, and it was like, how much did they pay him to do that?
It's like $8 million.
Well, you did fall asleep, and literally, so one way I would describe this movie is clever but not funny. Like, it's visually clever. There's lots of little like touches and flourishes that they do, but at no point did it ever make me laugh. With the exception of, and it's so fucking stupid, with the exception of when she is climbing through the vents, like trying to escape because they're all getting brainwashed in the sister town, sister universe, blah blah blah.
Sister.
And she encounters Bruce Willis in the vents crawling through it, and he's like, I definitely don't live here. I have a home.
Alright, that's
He's like, I'm gonna squeeze by here.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because it was a callback to Die Hard, of course, and then just and Bruce Willis, obviously he got like a $2 million check to show up for 15 fucking minutes. He probably didn't even put the headphones on. He just stepped into the booth and he's like, okay, no, I definitely don't live here. This is my home.
He didn't leave his house for that. Are you kidding me? He Skyped that one in.
What about the Will Ferrell ones where it was like his character from the Lego movie, which was like Mr. Businessman? Mm-hmm. He's in it for 2 seconds in the beginning, and then like all the real time sequences, it's like he's in like a different room yelling at the family.
So it reminded me of the Patton Oswalt bit where he was talking about when he got hired to do Punch Up for Disney movies, and he just started like crossing out like huge sections, like, no, we need a rewrite, and they're like, oh no, you don't understand, the movie's already made. all we want you to do is come up with funny stuff for people to yell off screen. And he's like, yeah, because that's how it always happens. I fell on my bottom in some butterscotch.
That's so true. Like at the end, there's like the touching moment between the mom and the kids, and they're like, "We all love each other." And then you hear Will Ferrell, "Honey, where's my pants?" Which I guess is, now that I think about it, is a play on the first movie, because they have like the cheesy sitcom that they're making fun of in the Lego Movie that's actually called "Where's My Pants." So
Oh yeah. Also, he's
now I
always
get
talking
that
about
callback,
pants.
but-
Oh, go get my golf pants.
It must have been a very, very stressful and busy day when they had Maya Rudolph, Will Ferrell, and Bruce Willis all show up for 15 minutes each to get all of their filming and voice work done.
yeah, that studio door was a revolving door of them like coming in and out.
They had to replace it afterwards, actually.
Did you already
Fell
print
off
the check?
hinges.
So yeah, the story was bland and dumb. The humor was basically non-existent. It existed essentially to just be a collection of pop culture references. Hey, you guys remember Gandalf? Hey, you guys remember Harry Potter? Like literally every
Jurassic
single
Park,
Jurassic
yeah.
Park, every single, and there were like, you know, meta self-aware jokes. For example, there's like the enemy, the villain in the story, as it turns out, again, spoilers, is, what's his name, Rex?
Rex. Yeah, his name is what's his Rex stand for? Something Extreme or Eddie or shit Emmett Extreme.
Like Radical Emmett Extreme or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's,
And
yeah.
he's Emmett from the future and blah fucking blah blah.
Rex Danger Vest.
Rex Danger Vest, okay. But he has like the Kurt Russell feathered hair and the thing, and that's a direct callback to I think Escape from New York, which was a John Carpenter movie with Russell, where he was like doing his best John Wayne impression, Pilgrim.
You don't want to go anywhere near the Sistar system. It's ruled by an alien queen. Only the toughest are gonna get out of there alive.
And so you could tell that Chris Pratt was doing his best impression of Kurt Russell doing an impression of John Wayne, and it was just, I didn't like it. It wasn't funny. I mean, I could pretty much tell right away that there was more to this character than leads on. Like it I don't know, it kind of telegraphed the plot for me.
Well, so that character is really like the ultimate self-reference, because it takes Chris Pratt's characters in Guardians of the Galaxy in
Yes.
Jurassic World, where he tames these velociraptors to pilot his ship for him, and then also he is like a just like a space explorer as well, and also he lost all his baby fat and got ripped.
Yes.
And so it's self-referential for Chris Pratt and his career in movies. What did you guys think of that?
I thought the Raptors were just a dead giveaway in terms of, because there's like,
Oh yeah, they make it really obvious.
yeah, I didn't get the part about him transforming like from this flabby funny guy in like Parks and Rec.
It was just a very quick line of like, and chiseled good looks hidden under baby fat. Something like that in his description.
Which now that you're pointing it out makes sense. Yeah, his character was very obvious. And it just felt like they got to a point where they got really lazy, and they said, you know what? Well, we need to have like a twist, but the twist can't be too complex, because we have all
This
this
is for
other.
children.
Because this is for children and for a sleepy Jackson.
And for grown men who have to do a podcast on Thursday.
And we have to shit on these movies and ruin people's dreams. I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about in terms of like what this movie has to offer, because it takes away a lot.
I thought that it was.
Jesus Christ!
I was just trying to get you to shut up.
He just coughed like right into Josh's mouth.
I felt the air like.
Whoa! My brain was just like, get him to stop right away.
Cough the talking away.
I did not like how self-referential and aware of the whole Chris Pratt character was.
Neither.
It was a boner killer for me.
It was like they had two different ideas for movies,
Yes.
where they're like, we're gonna have this Chris Pratt villain, but we also want this Sistar system story going on here, and they were just like mashing them together until they got something.
Like the two Lego characters at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Which was like a
Pew, 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 and there he go with the, and then she go with the.
That was Jackson's favorite
Apparently,
part.
I was the only person who liked this movie because I was the only one in the theater who made a sound. I was just like,
I was like, did someone let a sheep in here?
Just
What's
like-
going on?
when there's the big fight build up in the movie, and they're coming at each other, and all of a sudden it's just like a toy fight where they're just like banging up against each other. And it's hilarious. 5 stars for this
Because
movie.
you can't see the hands, so you just see the guys, and the guys, they start hitting each other.
They don't have fists, so they have to just run into each other.
I really enjoyed the baby talk from the sister alien Legos. That was initially. Initially.
Oh, the pain. It's getting so cold.
Emmett, what are you doing?
Hooray!
Like the first 5 minutes of this movie had promise, and I was like, okay, this could be it. This could be like the same kind of energy that the first movie provided. And then there's a musical. This movie turns into a musical.
There's so many fucking songs in this, which just I hated. It ruined my fucking life. I hate musicals. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but there were so many
Totally
goddamn
fine. I don't
songs
care.
in this movie. It was fucking unbearable. Okay, please continue.
Well, do you remember if the first movie was a musical, or was there any song?
Well, they
Besides
what I remember, the only song that they had was "Everything Is Awesome,"
Okay.
which is really like the cornerstone of the beginning of that movie, which is like Emmett is just like this, like he's trying to fit into this like really generic world of everything is awesome. Oh, everyone watches this stupid sitcom of Honey, Where's My Pants?
Yeah.
And so it's really a plot device, but it's also like a catchy pop song.
So there's another catchy pop song in this called "This Song Will Get Stuck in Your Head," and that's literally like the whole song is "This song will get stuck in your head," something to that effect.
Wow, I slept right through that.
You did, and you should be glad for that. It didn't get stuck in my head, for the record.
It's not a catchy song.
It's not a catchy song, and I think the reason for that is that it was written by John LaJoy.
Who's he?
He is from your favorite TV show of all time,
The Office?
The League.
Oh, you love The League.
Oh, he's
Taco or whatever.
He's Taco. Yeah, he was a YouTube celebrity.
He
before
was.
He was on The League.
Yeah, but he wrote that terrible
Show
song.
me your genitals.
Yes. And he was like, so Everything Is Awesome was such a catchy song, I wasn't sure how to outdo it, so instead I just wrote a song called "This Song Will Get Stuck in Your Head."
Did he actually? Is that a quote?
That's like pretty much a direct quote.
Where did you how'd you find out it was him?
He's on the Josh cast. That's where he-
unreleased. It's still unreleased. He said some pretty controversial things.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Wait till you see what he says at minute 7.
No, I just was reading some like pre-production stuff, and yeah, they had John LaJoy write it, and I just hate that guy.
I know you do.
I hate The League. I hate
and you
that
take
guy.
that on me.
And so that song already, like, I was never gonna love it, but I especially hate it now after seeing the movie because it was really simple and stupid.
I was wondering what happened to him because he fell off the
For
face
good
of the
reason,
planet.
because he's garbage.
Wow. Well, let's avoid talking about The League.
You're like, I hate musicals.
Yes, please.
I hate The League.
I hate
Well,
everything.
So my problem was that like this movie seems to try to recapture this energy from the first movie, but it also does things that the first movie didn't do, which is the musical shit, which is the live action shit. And then it tries to be I think it's relying on like its humor, which is like the self-referential stuff. They reference like being in a movie a lot, like referencing like acts or like, oh no, you're supposed to be brooding right now. You need to have a voiceover and it needs to sound like this, and that's like the establishing moments of the movie.
That was actually the moment that the movie first lost me. Was that little sequence between the two of them right there?
What are you talking about?
When Wild Style is like brooding about a post-apocalyptic
yeah.
world, and Emmett comes up and says, "No, you got to do it this way." Yeah, it was terrible.
Everything was awesome. Now, everything is bleak.
Hey, Lucy, I brought you coffee.
Coffee. The bitter liquid that provides the only semblance of pleasure left in these dark times.
Oh my goshness, did I interrupt you brooding just now?
And it goes on for too long. A couple of those scenes are just like too long, where they're just like riffing almost.
So you have the live action, you have the songs, and I would say those are the two things that I would point to as far as the two things that most made this feel like a kid's movie. And not made for all audiences. Mm-hmm. Like, I just pictured a packed matinee on a Sunday, you know, like at noon, with just teeming with snot-nosed fucking 6-year-olds, and anytime those songs come on, they get up and they just start like dancing and like shaking their diapered booties. And
God, what is this
booth
horrible world that you're imagining?
People in the booth just put that scene on repeat so that they can dance a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The movie ends up being like 4 hours long. The parents are all sleeping.
Wow, this is a hellscape. Just curled up with their coats
turned over.
This song will get stuck in your head. That's how I imagine the song.
So I agree with Josh's sentiment that this movie dies by the lack of humor, or at least the lack of clever humor. Which, you know, it took them almost 5 years to make this sequel. I wonder if they realized that, and they were just like, no, we can't recapture that magic. And then like the check just kept getting bigger and bigger, and they're like, yeah, we'll throw something together.
We'll pull this off. I promise. We will make this happen.
Oh, we're gonna make some money. Don't you worry. Because
they
fucking Legos.
I haven't seen any of these, but they were churning out basically spin-offs of the first movie.
Ninjago, Lego
Batman movie.
Hey, Ninjago.
You're just trying to like smoke out Josh over there, burping and coughing in his face.
I can't breathe. Help. Ninjaga's an okay series. Okay, fuck off.
I'm not saying that it's bad.
I haven't seen it, so
the movie was not well
say it's bad.
received.
I did not see the movie.
The movie was not
What's
well
the
received.
series you're talking about?
It's a bunch of Lego ninjas. Come on, figure it out. Ninjago.
Is it like a TV series?
Yeah, it's I forget what platform. I think I saw it on Netflix. I've only seen a handful of episodes, to be fair, but it's what you get out of a kids TV show that's aimed to like 12 to 15-year-olds.
Is that your favorite anime?
Yes. I you guys jumped on that so quick.
It's like it knows our every move.
Weird, right?
Emmett!
What?
Oh, okay. I was just thinking about this though. This kind of reminds me, but not really, the follow-up to Shaun of the Dead, which is Hot Fuzz. And where it has a movie where it has like a really distinct style and kind of could have just stood on its own, and you try to recapture it. Now, they did a better job of doing that in in Hot Fuzz, comparatively.
Yeah.
It just felt like, because this, like, what is this movie we're talking about? Lego Movie has such a distinct style that you like try to like recreate that, and you do have the visual style, but then everything else is like lost, and it's very disappointing. And I think even more so because you're trying to recreate such a distinct style. It's just like you're falling off the face of a cliff, and you're hitting, and you're landing right on Will Ferrell's face, like 1,000 feet. It hurts.
Like other things that we've discussed on this podcast, from everything I've gathered, I haven't seen the movie, but from everything I've heard, Lego Movie 1 was lightning in a bottle, which is impossible to recreate, impossible to recapture, and this was essentially a lazy cash grab.
I wouldn't say impossible to recapture, because I think that Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse had some of that magic, definitely.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the Lego property specifically. Like, obviously Phil Lord killed it in Spidey Into the Spider-Verse. I'm not sure. I guess I follow how you're connecting those two.
Well, so the first Lego movie had this really unique brand of clever humor, and I think that I saw that in
that
Spideyverse.
Inspiration was present in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Same, like, really like master of like animation and using humor to like keep it going. That was definitely present in Spideyverse.
I think that Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse.
It's not Spideyverse. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Spider-Verse.
Spideyverse.
I think
my favorite movie. I know what it's called.
That ruined, I think, animated films for me moving forward. In terms of like,
it's will ever top it.
No, yeah, exactly. It set such a high bar for what an animated film could do and be that I like have a hard time picturing anything living up to that.
You're gonna have that on DVD,
dude. I'm gonna buy it on fucking Blu-ray like the day it comes out.
Buying 6 copies.
Love that movie. I loved it.
Hey, let's talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I love this burger. So delicious. One of the best burgers I've ever had. You have money, right?
Let's not.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Are we reaching Chris Pratt saturation point?
I've been at Chris Pratt saturation point for a while.
You want some more Chris Pratt in your life?
Well, I think...
Or you want Addison to cough in your mouth again?
Please spit in my mouth. It's true love. Hey, Chris Pratt is a Christian. He's a devout Christian who will...
There was a headline about that this week, wasn't there?
He will proclaim it at the top of his lungs. He will ruin his relationship with Anna Faris. He is an amazing man, and we need more of him.
He's engaged to the Schwarzenegger daughter.
What's her name? Emma Schwarzenegger?
Recently engaged, but he also, he was in headlines recently because he attends a church where the pastor is viciously anti-gay and preaches hateful messages.
Of course.
Canceled.
Chris Pratt.
That's the
check
tea.
That one off check that one off the list.
You guys are
That's
piping
the tea,
hot.
sis.
Stop
piping
it.
hot.
No, don't. We don't accept. Stop.
Yeah, that's like the emoji.
I can't believe that guy's so homophobic.
So Jackson, would you recommend a nap during the Lego Movie Part 2?
I would. It was a dreamless sleep, very pleasant. I'd rather not wake up and have to watch more of this movie, but
time your naps appropriately.
So fall asleep a little bit later in the film, so that by the time you wake up, the credits are rolling, you're ready to go.
You know, I come on this podcast and I try to like put forward like an articulated opinion, but I think my subconscious is like the real movie critic, where I will fall asleep in a bad movie reliably. Like I can't stay awake.
You were awake during Widows. How do you explain that?
Fuck you, man.
That's because it was so offensively bad. It was like a shot of adrenaline.
It kept you going.
Yeah,
you're awake by anger.
But like
Speaking of which, Liam Neeson can't be racist because of the way that he kissed Viola Davis in Widows. Okay.
This is real love. It's acting.
I
baby.
saw that headline and I just kept scrolling. It's like, nope.
So is that a yes on the nap during Lego Movie 2?
Yes to the nap, preferably not in front of this movie because it's a kids movie. That's what it is. It's the first Lego movie was clever enough to be for all ages, but this movie just couldn't pull it off.
Awesome.
Joshua?
Stay far, far away. Go listen to a seminar or a TED Talk by Liam Neeson on how he's trying to integrate black communities and restructure the school systems. That would be far more constructive to your life than seeing this movie.
Addison?
Fuck no. I mean, look, if you have children and you have to go see this movie, it's not going to be the worst. It's not going to be half as bad as some of the previews that we had to watch tonight. Which, by the way, Josh and I timed it 20 fucking minutes of previews before this movie tonight. But there were some real stinkers in there. But if you are like a hipster who wants to have a couple PBRs, maybe take a couple rips off the bowl and go see a funny animated movie, this is not it. This is not your movie. You will be bored, your eyes will glaze over, and you'll be really sad that you spent $15 fucking to watch this movie. So it's kind of a soft yes. There's a certain... Only because there's a certain subsect of people that I can recommend it to that I can somewhat relate to. Like if Olive was like, let's go see the Lego Movie 2, I would probably go see it with her and I wouldn't be fucking miserable.
So like if Olive is doing your laundry for you, you'll turn it on for her?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. And she will be one day. She will be. But for a regular audience, let's say for people who liked Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I would not recommend this movie. It's not going to live up to any kind of expectation.
Even close to that watermark. No.
If you agree with anything we've ever said, don't watch this movie.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. That said, I will watch the next Phil Lord and Chris Miller project, whatever it happens to be. I'll give them a pass on this one. And
do you like 21 Jump Street?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was reasonably funny. I would say that from what I've seen, they should stick to animation. That seems to be kind of their strong suit. 21 Jump Street was okay. 22 Jump Street was definitely way more laundry fodder than 21.
Wow, laundry fodder. I like that.
Laundry material.
What about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Have you guys seen that?
I've seen that.
Is it good?
It's been a while. I think it was okay.
It's okay. Olive liked that one for a bit. It's definitely more in the kiddie vein, kind of like Lego 2. Okay. So
probably better now, though. If
yeah.
To like rewatch it, I'm sure it's more of like a cohesive story and isn't trying to do too much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, please email us at tobehonestcast@gmail.com. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. Watch the YouTubes. Listen to the SoundClouds. To Be Honest Cast. That's the way you can find us no matter what. We want to hear from you. We want to hear...
Oh. Just wanted to ruin your outro.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
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 Sorry.
I'll never see you again.
See you again.